My big takeaway is that we all think we know what a team is. At the PLC conference, it was stressed that a team is a group of people working interdependently to achieve a common goal for which we are mutually accountable. The team needs to work through a systematic process in which we analyze and impact professional practice in order to improve our individual and collective results. Everyone has to be on board at all times with a sense of we.
We as educators must determine what is need to know versus nice to know at our grade level. These need to knows must have endurance and leverage. The endurance that what students are learning will be used long after the test is completed, and the leverage that allows the material to be applicable to many academic disciplines. When the need to knows have been determined, we have to set the bar. The bar is set at the same level for all students, regardless of their background. Academic effort is not optional. We are the academic parents charged with the duty of making sure students are academically responsible. We must hold students accountable to do the work.
The bar. Is there more than one? Do we have different expectations for different students? Shouldn't the one and only bar be set high for all students? The answer is yes. After listening to a breakout session by Mike Maddows on raising the bar and closing the gap, it became evident to me that I was indeed setting different bars for different groups of students within my class. Instead of having many different expectations for students, I realized that there should only be one bar for all students. It's not that the bar is too high, it's that we need to figure out different strategies for getting all students to reach the bar. At a school where we strive to have all students learn at a high level, it only makes sense to have the same high expectations for all students.
So many inspiring words were said at the PLC conference, but the speaker that stuck out the most to me was Richard DeFore. Richard began telling us this heart-chilling story about how he found out he had stage 4 lung cancer. He was telling us how he had to frequently see nurses, doctors, and various specialists. DeFore was not telling us this story to make us sad or feel bad for him, but began sharing how the PLC model was being used in other professions such as healthcare. All of Richard's healthcare professionals worked together in order to diagnose his illness and collaborated to ensure they were all on the same page and could help Rick through this tough time. He began relating this experience to our education system and how working in isolation and refusing to collaborate with your colleagues is profoundly unprofessional. It is our duty to ensure our students are learning at a high level, and in order to achieve this, we must collaborate and work as a PLC.
So now that we're committed to this bar, how do we assure that all students, not just my students in my classroom, reach this metaphorical bar? Emphasized with increasing passion by each of the experts and presenters at the PLC conference was the common formative assessment. Once a group of teachers, be it a grade level team or a content area team, have determined what and to what level students need to learn, we have to be sure about how students are going to show they have learned. Developing a common formative assessment as a team ensures that students in different classes with different teachers are measured to the same standard. The data gathered by these assessments on the determined knowledge and skills will show whether or not the students have reached the bar. However, this is not just an assessment in the common sense of the word. That is, this is not just an opportunity to give a grade. Sometimes we get stuck in the I know how to teach my kids best mentality, which unfortunately, despite all good intentions, causes our egos to get in the way and prevent us from wanting to change any of our classroom practices. Common formative assessments allow us to take the blinders off and, as Ken Williams put it, shift learning from some to all. By developing and examining this data as a team, teachers will work together to find the true best practices in the classroom to make sure all of our students succeed.
These are the words from Polly Hoffman. First of all, I truly enjoyed the PLC conference in its entirety. The quality time with colleagues was a highlight. Memories that won't soon be forgotten, especially when I hear Kenny Rogers singing Lucille. Secondly, my biggest takeaway was the affirmation that it is our job to ensure that every child meets the basics or the bar that is established by the professional experts, which is the team of teachers in a specific discipline. As a veteran teacher, I know how often I have engaged in the thought that I can't expect this kid to earn 100% given the home or the environment that he or she is coming from. This child can slide by if they are close. At the conference, we were assured that this is not healthy philosophy. We are doing no favors by lowering standards. These children, some are bigger bodies than others, and it is our job to hold them accountable to the highest of standards and expectations for their own future success. Basically, it is the job of the professional educator to raise all kids to the bar established by the PLC team. We are not to let any child fall short of that level. A child should not pay their entire life for poor decisions made during their youth that may have inhibited a high level of education or even graduation. We have to prepare them for this century. We are the experts and the window to their future. Thirdly, thank you all for being part of a true PLC community, and thank you for welcoming me into this past year at Stanley Boyd.